Hello, and welcome to The Truth Runs Deep, our podcast where we talk about all things Law and Order SVU, Law and Order Organized Crime, fic writing, and more. I'm Kalli,
And I'm Terryn.
and today is, first off, we have to start with a very special milestone, um, both just for us as fans of the show and for our podcast. A year ago today, Um, Ainsley, Ainsley themselves direct messaged me on Twitter saying they had listened to our episode that we dedicated to them and Danielle, uh, um, the one that was right after Punch Drunk,
Punch.
the Jet and Ayana centric episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we tagged them. And the title of the episode was called Why Ainsley and Danielle Deserved Emmys, which they still do.
Mm-hmm.
But, we tagged them thinking nothing of it. And then it was a Saturday last year. So this
Yeah.
Saturday afternoon
We did that episode quick, man. We did like
last
that
year,
next day. We were quick for recording that one.
yep, we were excited. So we did it. That day last year, I was getting ready for work and I got a message on my Twitter and I dropped my phone in shock, first having to make sure it was legit. And then when I realized that it was, I lost it. Yeah. And that episode was 2 hours. And as far
Yeah,
as we're
we're on
aware, they
one episode.
listened to the entire thing and
Mm-hmm.
called us fucking sweet.
If you haven't gone back and watched that episode, you should.
Yes,
Just
go watch.
because it's a good one.
It's the one that made us famous. No, we're kidding.
It literally, I mean, it
Well,
kind of
actually,
literally.
technically it did because
Yeah, it is good.
when I went to see Cabaret this summer,
There's a whole episode on that, so go listen to that one
yes,
too.
and I had the fortune, you know, the blessing to be able to meet Ainsley in person. My lovely mother brought up the podcast, to which Ainsley said, "Oh my God, that's you." They remembered messaging me. They remembered listening to it. And they said that they felt like they were meeting a celebrity. So yeah, a year ago today started that. So we have a podcast that is listened we have a podcast that has been listened to by somebody on the shows.
Mm-hmm.
I literally, yeah, I knew you were busy, but I sent Taryn like
Mm-hmm.
four texts, four
Yeah, I
texts
was
of
like
her
waiting on
name
my restaurant reservation, I
in
think.
all caps.
Yeah, I was like, my mom had like was like, wait. I was like, I gotta use to get in this bathroom. Like, can you make sure we get a reservation?
And then and she saw my text and she's like, "What?" And I sent her the things and she's like, "Yeah,
I was trying to be
I
quiet because I literally was in the
I
middle of
was
the restaurant.
screaming." I was in my house. I ran downstairs screaming. My parents are like, "What?" I'm like, "Look, look." Ainsley messaged me. Yeah, so we're still extremely grateful for that and for Danielle as well.
Mm-hmm.
Um, they're truly inspirations to us both. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
oh, and if you're not listening to, depending on when we get this out, the date that it was February 4th.
Yeah.
February 4th is the day.
It'll because this episode will be out on
It's
Wednesday.
literally we put it on our calendars. The day Ainsley listened to our podcast.
Yeah.
It's a thing.
Yep.
All right. Well, also,
Oh,
so that's
grab some
that, and we're
quiet.
excited about that. And then speaking of Ainsley, before like probably about
For the
30
past
minutes
hour.
before
Maybe. I
okay,
don't
an
remember.
hour before we
I've been
started
so busy
recording.
today. I don't even know what time it is. And it's like, we're here.
An hour
The room light
before,
doesn't work in here, so I brought my own light, and I kind of hate it. But it's okay.
an hour before we started recording, I was scrolling Instagram as I do, and then I saw that Ainsley's little story thing was available, meaning they had come out of their hiatus for a moment, and I clicked on it, just curious, and um, uh, literally don't have words because
There's some good pictures.
my God,
I don't know if I want to. Well, I don't know if it's for like a project or anything. So I don't know
or
if I want to. We should be specific on what the pictures are, but they're really good.
they're
They're
very,
amazing pictures.
very good. I don't know if it's like I don't
Something
know, like
we.
a project they're doing or a magazine or
Yeah, we
what.
don't. So I want to sport. We
We don't
don't
know,
know.
but please go to
Oh,
Ainsley's
cool. You
Instagram
better
and click
hurry up.
story. You won't be disappointed.
Well, you better hurry. Actually, by this time it might be too late. So if you listen to this episode, so you better have.
We show it? Should we show one? What do we do?
So I guess we can show one. Everyone else, you better hurry up. Take screenshots like you can.
Yeah, literally take screenshots like we did because they're going to go way
Happens.
fast. And yes, I'm going to say this knowing they very well could be listening to this. They could step on me. Literally,
That's
that's literally what the pictures give off. They could step
mm,
on me.
I'd be
That's
just
I,
okay with it.
I gotta find one I can find. Let's see. I'll do the one that Ainsley put on their story. That way,
Oh,
it's not
no,
gonna
that
hold
made it
it.
worse.
Eh.
Oh, one look like
Yes.
yes.
This is the one that Ainsley put on their story, and I'm picking this one because they chose to put this one out in public. I'm not taking anything. Hi. Um.
So actually, if you're not on Spotify, you can't see it. So you
Oh
better
shit.
hurry.
Yeah,
Everyone
literally.
who's on Spotify, you can see it. But if you're not, sorry.
Like
But
this, they. I already knew they rocked black and red because that's pretty much all Cabaret's colors. But fuck, they do it in their daily life too. Like if I had to give a description of what this, you know,
it's like you gotta describe it because if you're not Spotify
give up,
exclusive, you can't see
it's
it.
literally if I had to describe it, it's a mix of rocker chick, Rocky Horror Picture Show, and badassness. And there's a few that's also like touch of pirate stuff. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
There's more on the
Oh wow, he's sponsoring. I use
there's
his
more
follow from.
pictures on the Instagram of the person who took the pictures. John Taylor photo. Good luck. You will not be disappointed because I sent them to Terryn and we both just went, "Ow." Yeah. I always say like because Ainsley goes by they, she, he pronouns, I'm always like, okay, queen isn't enough and king isn't enough. So I always say that they're royalty. They are royal. They're our royalty. Yes. Okay. So we're doing things backwards because
Mix it up every time because
yeah,
it
doing things
depends
back
on what seems to be most important at the time. And
because
one more thing we got, no, we'll save it first for you. Well, I'll say only we did this for you. Sorry,
what?
I'll say it when we did this for you first. I'll
All right, we're
text it to
doing
you
things
then.
backwards because we had to talk about the Ainsley news and
Yeah,
everything.
then
So
time
we're
is
starting
short
with,
once again. Something happens every single Sunday and Monday, so we have to be like,
we literally have to go.
yeah. That I know of. Next Sunday, I do not have any. I think so. Who knows? We'll find out.
I do.
Well,
Well, I mean,
we'll figure it.
it's not gonna be all day. At least I don't think
Oh,
so. We're celebrating my mom's birthday because um her birthday's on Monday
true.
and we have to work. But also Sunday's the Super Bowl, so
Yeah,
I will be
I
out of commission
have,
for
I
hours.
have a lack of care about the Super Bowl, unfortunately. Like I am not interested in this. I go to football games to hang out with people. I don't actually watch the football games.
Hey, Taylor Swift is gonna be there if that
So I
helps
do
at all.
like Taylor. I do like Taylor. Let me put my but
Yeah,
the
Taylor
light
Swift
doesn't work
is
here,
there. So
so I'm brought my own light.
okay. You look cute in that little
It
sweatsuit.
was very
Oh,
cold and
yes.
rainy today,
Thank you,
and to watch
Taryn,
it be like
reminded me.
it was
Oh,
like cold and
is
rainy.
that the thing you were gonna is that the thing you're gonna mention when we do SBU?
Yes,
Okay. All right,
no,
we're gonna
it's
start.
cold and rainy, and now it's gonna be like warm tomorrow. Well, no,
All right,
but I
so we're
love.
starting as crime
Oh, I just
because
pull my nose up.
we're
Yeah,
going back
oh
to
my nose.
what we're doing.
Went to school. I have so many Google set pages of Google Docs because I have like different accounts. But my well, I have a school one account. Okay, so we would do. We'll just go straight backwards. The end of Innocence.
Oh
Yes,
God. All right, I'm
I
starting to do
forgot to
something
look at what that
better.
was. So, uh, I'm a sleepy girl, but I need to get my our job done. Okay, so at the beginning, so it's like 3 days prior.
Yeah, we gotta they went backwards. We started literally had a thing on
Because
the bottom.
organized crime has no
Yeah,
sense of time. Because organized crime has no sense of time. They just be like assuming that you
literally
know
just
it's
said
like
3 days
because
ago. Okay.
it is the only show without time cards, so you don't know what day it is. You kind of just assume.
All right. We start 3 days ago. The guy from the last episode that killed Asher is going into like this shop, and he goes over to the woman and is like, I know one of my friends sent me or whatever. She brings him to the back of the store and literally pulls out like a giant GUN.
Yeah, probably can't say the word too. Can't remember. Can't
Which
remember
is
that word loud or not.
why I
Because
stopped.
our videos are on YouTube now. Therefore, and we're gonna be
Yeah.
making some exclusive content at some point for YouTube. We just don't have it in yet. But there'll be some games and random conversations about stuff we like doing. Who knows? We're gonna figure it out. But make sure you subscribe to our Truth Runs Deep podcast YouTube channel. Go do it, okay? I worked
So
real
somebody
hard on
sent,
that. I
sorry,
worked
somebody
really
sent,
hard. Yeah, I worked really hard on that. So make sure you go do it. Okay.
sorry, somebody sent me more of the pictures. So yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna continue talking because we literally got off track.
Never
It's like,
mind. Now it's not coming off. Okay. Anyway, ignore it.
a minute into the episode. So there's a I don't know if you said it or I wasn't listening.
And then she's
Okay.
basically like, "Look, I'll give you." Literally, she's giving off
I
a
will give
list
you
of
these it's like I will give
GUN
you the things,
that
but
she
not the
sells,
things to put in them.
but I will not give you the things that put in them. I don't sell
And
things that can
you
be used
can't
to kill
do
people.
anything to hurt people with the said thing.
It's like okay. Um, literally, this woman has a giant pin.
Literally in the back of the bodega. We got the
Oh,
big one in the back of
um,
the
yes. Okay, so the gets one, and then he goes up to like this rooftop with this giant sniper one, and it shows him um shooting the Iman, which is you know, and then he blew up the place.
mm,
Um, then he goes back to his bus, and we see a father and his young son being dragged into the building. The father is blindfolded, the child is not. The man is pretty much like, please don't take my kid away.
mm,
Uh, and then the guy's like, we don't care. So they
yeah.
take the kid away from the father and bring the father away, and
I'm pretty sure that's like the
yeah,
whole like bit before the intro. The
that's the
last
whole
time
intro.
song goes. I mean, the
And then
intro
we
of the
get
song still goes kind of hard though every time. So
I don't know if we mentioned this before, but Chris got a new picture and everybody else didn't.
exactly that. Exactly. Come on now.
Okay,
It's time to
just
update these photos.
a little salty about that.
It's
Like
a
for
new
example,
exactly
for
because
example. Cool.
because Jet has the short haircut. He needs to
Yeah,
figure something out.
exactly. I was about to say Jet has short hair now, and Ayana has the like
Like a twist
braids.
out. She's like a twist out.
They're like up to her shoulders.
I'm like, come on, man.
I mean,
Please, everybody.
Reyes hasn't changed much, but if Chris can get a new photo, I can he. So yeah,
Oh, Wall will
okay.
sponsor us. This is my favorite water bottle ever.
Okay. Um,
I haven't used it.
the next thing we get to is back to the Stabler apartment.
It's still chaotic in there.
It is still chaotic. Randall is talking to Elliot, and Randall looks right at Elliot and he says, "You look like hell." And then Elliot's like, "Well, you weren't up last night." Like he was basically up with
You're
Bernie
doing his job. Like after
and
doing his
doing his
job,
job.
wasn't blown up.
Yeah.
The kaboom happened.
Yep. And then they get into a conversation of like, Randall asking Elliot, when is the last time you talked to any of our siblings?
And he's like, I don't know.
So not only do we get, not only in one episode do they mention the younger brother, we get the mention of the two sisters that they
They
haven't mentioned
finally got
in season
names
one
after
of this
25 years. They were maybe
Yeah,
mentioned like I remember
freaking
it was like season one maybe. It was early on where they mentioned
yeah.
Ellie had siblings. And then like
And
when
like
you look it up
they
on the
like
wiki, it
it's
just
not
had
it,
Randall and Joe Jr. and then unnamed sisters.
it's like it's not something you would know unless you like went to go look on the wiki.
Yeah, you were just like looking up stuff. Yeah, like we
So
like had to go investigate for
name
research.
his sisters' names are Sharon and Dee. So it's we don't know the
I think
order for
Randall's the oldest.
Randall's the oldest. Then we have at least for the
Elliot is the middle brother,
middle brother.
and Joe
So
Jr. is the youngest. But
Randall,
Joe
Elliot,
Jr. seems like the youngest of all of them, just because he seems really
we'll get to
young.
that.
But we'll get to that. I will describe it more when we get there. But he just
And
seems younger than
Sharon Dee
significantly younger.
somewhere, and then Joe Jr.
Yeah.
We find out that Joe Jr. was in the army. Like Elliot was in it was Marines, right?
Yes.
Yes, Elliot was in the Marines, but he got discharged, so now he's back home.
With something. Yeah, we know
And
what,
I
but
don't,
something.
and then um I was like, Randall's growing on me. Like I was worried that he was gonna be
Oh,
like a pompous.
he's hilarious. He's so
I was
funny.
worried he was going to be a pompous jerk, but he is
He's hilarious.
actually hilarious and growing on me. So
He's
um
so funny. Like I can't. I'm like, bro,
and
that was
we
he
get
continuously in the sake of like roasting
yeah,
Elliot probably every single second. I'm like, bro,
he's trying to get Elliot to talk about unfortunately what will be the inevitable
yeah,
eventually. Bernie not being with us any longer.
yeah. She has a
Elliot
close
does,
advanced dementia. If that
yeah,
wasn't clear, she has dementia.
yeah. Alzheimer's. Yep. And
Yeah,
Elliot does not want to um
because he's like,
talk about it.
what
I
they're
mean,
kind of having a conversation about like she wants to like the conversation Elliot I mean Randall's like yeah Randall sorry it's a lot of staplers try to remember them all. He's like I think we should have everyone over for dinner, big family dinner. And Elliot's like, why would we do that? He's like, cause
uh,
we just need to spend time with mom before she goes to the home she wants to go to. And Elliot's like, I don't want her to go to a home. She wants to go to a home.
yeah. That's the thing. Elliot doesn't want her going. He wants her here because I don't think he wants to, accept the fact that he's losing
The
his mom,
inevitable, yeah, the inevitable is coming.
which I understand. I
Yeah,
parents and not my mom lived through it when we did it with my grandpa.
yeah,
It was hard. It's not easy to accept that you're losing
it's not. My mom
somebody
had to
that
do
you
the same
love.
thing with my grandmother. It's not an easy thing knowing that like someone's up there.
Not. And then, well, Elliot's like, I don't want to talk about it. And then Randall yells back, when you want to talk about it, it will be too late.
Because Elliot's walking
And
out the
he's right.
door, he's not acknowledging the conversation. He's just like,
And
I'm
he's
going to
not even
work.
paying attention. Bye.
Like many of the situations, he runs away from his problem, which is he's like, I'm gonna go to work. See you on
Yeah. Then we
it's funny.
transition to like a small, official NYPD office, and it's
Yeah, but
Ayana and um Captain Nash Shaw, and they're both sitting awkwardly across from each other in these like
The
waiting
way,
room chairs.
yeah,
And
you
then
know how awkward it is.
yeah, Ayana's like, I don't know what's worse, almost dying in an explosion or being called to the carpet for almost dying in an explosion.
Yeah.
Like only sergeants and captains would have to explain what happened
Yeah. What were you doing
when
out there?
they
Like,
almost died in an explosion.
yeah, they're like,
Um,
what?
and there's it's just awkward silence. We
Mhm.
get some details that the two had like a huge fight
Yeah,
15 years ago when they were in the
but they were,
academy.
yeah,
And I immediately wrote in the doc just looking at the two and I'm like,
yeah,
I'm sensing it needs to levers.
yep. It kind of gives that vibe for
It
some
gives
reason.
off that vibe. And
It,
honestly,
it gives
as
that vibe.
much
I wouldn't be mad.
as much as we wish it was with Denise, and we definitely thought it was going to be with Denise till the
They never,
writers to
and they
spring
did.
that
So,
on
yeah.
us. We just want Ayana to be happy. That is it. That is all.
Mhm.
Oh God.
Oh no.
No, no, no. I'll be back in a second. Just ugh.
Okay. I'm gonna keep talking.
No, I'm back. Okay. Then after Ayana does what she needs to do, we transition to the bureau, and
Mhm.
Ayana's about to start a debrief, and Jet sits on the desk because she sits literally anywhere but Jet. She
Yeah, I mean
literally's got
that's
her
how we're
laptop in her arm. Like
that's how we're
this,
being.
yep. She works there, but this place is her chill place.
Literally, I do not know how to sit. I'm literally having my knees up on this sofa, this random sofa.
And
Not
then they're
even
going
in my
into
room.
like a list of like what the guy they're looking for did.
Yeah, it,
Jet goes, "There's simpler ways to kill a guy."
that's
I say,
complicated. So
to which
he's
I
done a
say,
lot of stuff. I forgot to
Jet
mention.
say, how do you know that?
Well,
Should we be
Jet knows
concerned?
everything. It's
Yeah,
just we just should know Jet knows everything
Jet
about
literally
everything.
just knows everything about anything. But should I be concerned that she's like, it's there's the way she said it, she's like, there's simpler ways to kill a guy. Excuse me.
I'm like, hmm,
Okay.
well, don't
Um,
you don't want us to get on Jet's bad side.
yes, literally, do not get on her bad side. Um, then the Vargas runs in the precinct late, and everyone looks at him like, where have you been? And he goes, oh, I had an interview on the Today Show. And they all kind of just look at each other
Like,
like, what? Why are you still here? Why? And there's talk going on that people think he's a bad guy.
yeah, but there's a
And
line I remember. Some he was like and then there's some
I
I think there's another line I think that we didn't write down about how like they're like, why is he still here? And then Ayana was like, because I want
yeah,
to.
really, no
But
one
people
wants.
think that he's secretly like he for some the comparison people often have been giving online is Dale Stuckey. And if you don't remember Dale Stuckey, he's in season 10 and like he gave Elliot gave him a lot of shit for no reason a lot of the time, and he couldn't take it anymore and snapped. And it's Zebras is one of my favorite episodes,
Yeah,
honestly. But you know, I love Zebras for the reason why nobody likes Zebras. Okay, but
yeah. So that's what people think he is, and I agree.
like he
I
does
got
have
an
some.
off
We don't have any proof yet that there's anything
I got
exactly
an off
suspicious.
vibe from him from day one.
I
And
was
if my
trying to give him the
theories are
benefit of the doubt.
continuing to be
You had
right,
it.
stay the hell away from our girl.
We'll figure. We'll see. I
Stay
guess.
away.
I mean, honestly, because the season is short, they're only like 13 episodes. We're at three now, so you know,
And more, who knows?
we gotta like hit the no, usually like a climax, and then they all kind of like
Yeah.
dip a little, and then they kind of all go back up again.
Okay.
So like we haven't
Then
like got
we have the the debrief. Ayana's talking about how it's literally GUNS for hire,
yeah.
literally.
Hmm.
Um, and then Ayana's like, "Okay, Jet, I want you to go with Reyes down to the bodega to figure this out." And then Jet pauses and is like, um, I actually have another avenue I want to go through. And you could tell she's nervous because her
Yeah,
voice changes from confident to be like, actually.
yeah. She
And
doesn't want to go with Ray. Like,
yeah, she doesn't want to go with Riss. And Yana's like, you can check that out later. And Jet's like,
like you don't
okay.
understand.
And walks away. And then Ayana's like, Jet, are you okay? And Jet's like, yeah. And Yana's like, are you
No,
sure?
you gotta know. You gotta know that
Ayana knows. She didn't doesn't say it outright, but
she
she
knows
knows.
something, right? She
She knows
knows
something.
something alright with these.
And she's like, you haven't been okay since you got back from Whelan's memorial. Neither has Reyes.
She knows something's not right.
And this is the part that I loved. Ayana said, look, if there is something going on, there's no judgment here.
Mm-hmm.
Like, thank you. Thank you. Do you know how many commanding officers
Shame them, shame her,
shame
shame Jet specifically. Like, why
shame
are you
her?
so?
Yeah, specifically shame her. Reyes is out of wouldn't be thing. It would be shaming her specifically. So the fact that Ayana is like, no judgment here. Ugh. She proves she cares about Jet and her
Mhm.
colleagues. But then and then the next point continues to remember that yes, she might be friends with Jet, but she's
This
also
is
her
her.
boss. And
We
is
have
like,
to.
but once it affects your job, then it becomes my problem.
Nope, you skipped that. Oh, yeah, yeah, you're right. Sorry. We need to be better about like being like, who was saying what? I'm gonna just write stuff down. I'm saying
Don't
it.
worry, that's why like I'm looking at this, I remember, but we need to pause for a second. I'll be right back.
Okay.
All right, we're back. I had to go do something. So yes, we left off with yeah, Jet realizing Ayana knows something, and then
Yeah, I know
she
everything. I know
doesn't know, but
the
the
details, but you know, some not right and stuff.
she support, but also needs to remember that she has to do her job.
Mm-hmm.
Um, then in the other, then on the opposite
You
side
have
of
to say it's not going to.
um, Elliot is giving Reyes a talk.
Mm, good.
Um,
Like, sure.
and Belle does,
The
comforting,
correct way you should handle the situation.
comforting, but also I need you to understand I'm still your boss. I have to make sure things go
Or
well.
going
On the other hand, the first thing he literally says to Jet, not to Jet, is to Reyes is don't drag Jet into your BS.
like,
Great.
uh,
Jet doesn't need you defending her. If she thinks it's a problem, she'll go
mhm,
ask for help.
exactly. You need to ask for your 2 cents.
Yeah, literally, I'm sorry, but if Jet heard you talk like that, she'd be like, what the fuck?
Exactly.
This is my business.
Exactly.
Um,
Exactly. And
I
then
don't like then he's like, you're sleeping
mhm,
in your he's like, don't drag Jet into your BS. Like this is like I don't know. Something about I forget something about, it's like once it's of like lines being crossed or something. I don't know, whatever.
some kind of advice he tried to give, but you know.
Yeah, and then Reyes, with probably one of the best lines of the night, says, and you would know all about that, right?
I was like, ooh, caught. Right.
Right job. Meaning, apparently, even though, Reyes and him have only been working together for almost like a year, everybody in this department is fully well aware of what else
Everyone.
is going on between Elliot and Olivia.
A real weird codependent partnership.
Yeah,
Whenever
everybody.
we're gonna have to have a actual breakdown of we're gonna have like a episode we do on YouTube or something where we like go through it on the proper form. But you
Yeah,
know, for now, we'll do that better.
yeah. And I'm like, ooh, you go, sir. And then
Also,
Elliot was walking away from him. So he stops. He had a cup of coffee in his hand. He was trying to make it a casual conversation.
mm,
Puts the cup of coffee down. His face is
mm,
mad and dark.
exactly. He was mad.
And he walks right over to Reyes. And there's a height difference because Reyes is short or
He was
on
very
the side.
small. He was very
And he gets
small.
right, like literally right up in Reyes' face. And I'm like, oh my God, he's going to kill him.
He is.
He's going to kill.
He
But,
is.
Reyes being Reyes and, dealing with bullies all his life
Yeah, he wasn't gonna back down.
was not going to back down. And then he looks right at Reyes, looks right at Elliot and says, "This is none of your business." And Elliot replies back, "Then don't make it my business."
Like it really
First of
wasn't. You
all,
put
how
yourself
are
into
they
the
making,
conversation.
first of all, how are they making it your business?
You put
You're the
yourself
one
in that
that had
conversation.
to bring this up. And then after that, he does try to get, on the more sympathetic side. He's like, "You're sleeping in your car, Bobby.
Yeah, whatever he did, he knew he didn't go home, or had chosen not to go home.
Sleeping in your
Not really
car."
clear.
There have been there's been a lot of EOs that have been comparing whatever Jet and Reyes
That
are doing
whatever they do,
to
which is
whatever was going on between Elliot and Olivia, and basically
not the
being,
same thing.
it's similar, but Elliot didn't cross the line. First off,
Ellie was married. That was, I mean, well, they're both married, so that wasn't the argument to make there.
yeah, first off, this is totally different
Very
because
much.
um like Elliot and Olivia didn't have any like direct trauma to deal with
Mm.
that caused them to get
They had
close.
separate trauma, but they had trauma nonetheless. They had separate trauma.
Yeah. Jet and Reyes have both lost somebody,
Trauma bonded over the same
yeah,
incident.
literally trauma bonding over the same person they lost that they deeply cared about for different reasons. Reyes lost basically like another brother to him.
Yeah, they were like best besties. They were
Jet lost
bad
either
besties.
we don't know.
It
Jet
never
lost
is clear.
they haven't went out and say it. They either Jet lost either a very good friend, or B,
Someone she romantically loved.
yeah, potential romantic interest.
But they
So
weren't clear about that. So,
they weren't clear about it. But I guess it could possibly make sense to be like, yeah, he wasn't there, so I went to
yeah,
Reyes. Because like that.
it's not wrong.
Look, it's not the same. They're doing it because they're both fucked up grieving
Yeah,
right now.
yeah. But we get to a point where they start making a situation better. But we haven't gotten to that point in the episode yet.
And then
So
everyone's like, "Oh, Elliot's better because he didn't cross the line." Look, they're fucking young. I say they're young,
no,
probably the same age when the shit started. So I take
I
that
mean
back.
you're not young, but I mean
Nobody
they are.
died.
Yeah, nobody died. There's not trauma baggage that's trauma bonded them. They're
Kathy did.
not
Kathy
codependent
didn't
either.
die until Elliot was already gone for 10 years. Okay.
Yeah, and there's no like codependent relationship. And I
Yeah,
mean, it
exactly.
wasn't codependent until well, actually, it's not codependent because they don't want to be around each other. Well, they're like,
I really don't want to be like, but his
so
like
Jet doesn't want to be
Ray
around
is
us
just
because
saying anything. Jet does not want to be near him, but we don't fully know. Oh wait, yeah, we do. It's because after the last episode, she's like, "Look, we can't freaking keep doing this."
we gotta stop. We gotta stop.
Apparently, we don't know, but apparently, it's from what we've seen in canon. It was twice,
Yeah,
maybe more.
maybe
As
more.
far as we know, it happened at least twice.
And they
Once at the
couldn't because
memorial
it.
and once at the time in the premiere.
But we don't really. They could have it more than twice. Yeah,
Yeah,
no
but
more than twice.
we
We
don't
don't
know.
know.
We just have two distinct times.
Yeah.
Okay. Then we get to the next scene where they have Reyes going undercover to go try to get the
I'll try to purchase
GUNS
something.
from the
Yes.
shop while Jet is in as a
He's like one of the
shopper.
customers. Yeah, just go in the bodega.
Yeah, and so Reyes follows the woman back there, and then as he's walking by, Jet turns and looks and says, "Be careful." Which, on one hand, aw, but
Yeah.
also then my mom immediately went, "Oh my God, they're making her look so sappy. I don't like this."
But I mean, the last incident, with possibly getting shot, bad things happen. So she probably was like,
Yeah.
"Eek."
Yeah, exactly. Like, be careful. Like, we don't need to lose another one.
Exactly.
Fair.
Not
Um,
again. Can't do this no more.
Jet, and then so Jet has her earpiece in, and she can hear what Reyes is doing. And she's like, she can listen, and she's like, trying to feed him information because she's like, you've been made, you need to stop, get out of there.
Yeah, the woman's son is coming.
But
He would know she's not that guy. Ray is not a regular customer.
yeah, Reyes was, not having it. He was being a bit stubborn. So
Mhm.
Jet got to do some badass stuff and pulled out her badge and basically got all this was like, look, police, you all got all the civilians out of the building.
Mhm.
Yay, good. And then took her gun and decided to follow the son back there. The son somehow knew she was there, and literally Jet was like an inch away from getting shot, which I don't need. Um, and then it basically went
Mhm.
haywire because the mom freaking slammed the GUN on the table.
Yeah.
The the son and Reyes started fighting.
It was a little chaotic game.
Jet put the gun, pulled the gun, and was like telling the mom, like, stop,
Put
NYD,
your hands
NYD,
up.
put your hands behind your back. And then while she was arresting the mom, Reyes, for whatever reason, we don't fully know why,
You just for some reason really upset.
really upset and starts to go to like literally starts pummeling this guy into oblivion. It's bad. Like his face, very bleedy. Reyes
Yeah,
could have killed
okay.
him. He did not stop until Jet quite literally had to step away from the woman that she was arresting and yelled, "Bobby, stop."
Yeah.
Like, my God. And then another thing where then my mom was like, I hate that. She's like, I hate this. And she's like, it's not the actor's fault. It's the writing. She's like, Jet isn't this stupid.
Exactly.
Okay. So remember that next time I start going into a tirade about Jet or Ainsley, but I digress. And that's when I went like, then a commercial happened, and they're like, "Okay, look, this affair thing was stupid." Like, and I immediately was like, "You're not the only one," because both of the actors were like,
The heck
"What?"
is this?
when they got the script, and then
Yeah.
talked about it for 3 hours because
Yeah. I don't
what?
what?
But they're doing what? Okay. Yeah, so that happened. Um, then we get to the next scene, and the Brazier is back. Sam, the cop from the last episode.
I'm glad people like him because I like
Yeah, I saw an article, and one of the things at the end
a lot
was,
of positive
can we
reception.
keep one of the things at the end said, can we keep him? And I
Yeah.
was like, I agree. Can we keep him? Can he stay? Probably
Yeah.
only for this arc. We act What is even happening next week? I don't remember. I don't
I'll
pay
check it.
I
I'll
literally
check.
don't remember. I wasn't paying
I don't remember
attention.
either. Oh, I do
I
remember because we were talking
I'm
about it. I remember
not
now.
paying
We'll
attention.
get there though. I'll
Okay.
I'll tell you. I'll tell you when we get there. I remember. 'Cause I
Okay.
think
Yeah. And
you had
they're
zoned
looking
out really hard.
for they're looking for Jamal, the father, and his son Kareem, who is 8.
Mhm.
Uh, no one in the building is willing to talk to them. They're all very scared. They eventually find Jamal in his apartment, laying on his bed with like these horribly done stitches on his
Yeah, they're
stomach.
really gross,
It's
like infected.
bad. It's very bad. With something
Infected.
sticking out of the stitch. And the guy's basically like, you need to get me to my son and get this, like, I can't still be here. So, they promised to help. And then they take the little thing that was out of the guy's stitch and, take it for evidence. And the next scene we get is Reyes in Ayana's office.
Syndrome.
Ayana
Yeah.
being like,
You can't beat
what
up
the?
Hurts.
Yeah,
Because you
literally.
cannot beat up Hurts. Okay.
Yeah. At the beginning of the season, she said, I'm worried Reyes is turning in, she said to Elliot, I'm worried Reyes is turning into you and not in a good way.
You know, it's
Yeah, the not in a good way has happened because you know who else would have pummeled that guy into oblivion?
like
Stabler.
it's
Um, so Ayana is basically like, what
yeah,
happened?
exactly.
And he's like, we were shot at. And Ayana's like, I'm talking about what happened after. And then the line that came that broke my heart because I didn't see it this way until she said it. She said, Jet was scared of you.
Because he's
Ugh,
cool. Yeah, I was like, oh, fuck.
rip my heart out, why don't you? For multiple reasons. One,
Yeah,
they work together.
yeah.
Two, I don't like Jet being scared of anybody. Three,
'Cause when she's
yeah, three, they're friends.
yeah, no one wants to see your friend act out of character.
Yeah, and nobody wants their friend to be scared of them.
Yeah, otherwise you're not friends. And
Four, and might not be a part of it, but it could also be a part of it. Jet is the youngest one in the squad.
yeah,
Having her be scared of not only one of her colleagues, but also a male colleague who was older than her, is not good.
not yeah,
Also, five, they slept together. Not good for her to be afraid of somebody she slept with. Especially considering, again, she's been divorced. That didn't end
yeah.
well. She doesn't need this.
Her love lives have not gone well. Question mark on that because the writers didn't seem to care enough to answer a lot of these questions. We've made them up.
No, Ainsley did an interview and basically she's like, I want to learn more about Jet's dad and I want to learn more about her divorce and marriage. And we're like, yeah, thank you.
We do
Someone,
too. Someone
if your actor is saying it, do it. Okay.
exactly because like
And then, okay, back to the conversation.
Yana pulls out a
Ayana's,
card and he's like,
yeah,
for what? And he's kind of having an
I need to
attitude here. Very
see
little grumble.
somebody. And he's like, department shrink?
Mm-hmm.
And
She's
Ayana's
like,
like, no, my shrink.
yeah,
First off,
it's up to you.
Ayana, A, care so much to,
Get from someone who's more personable than the department.
and two, care enough to reveal that she's going to therapy, which I think Danielle
I think I
mentioned.
brought this up at some point where I talked about how like the stigmatization in Black families about going to therapy and how going to therapy is good for you because I
Oh, I
do
know.
it. You go, it's good for you.
Yes,
The
it
right
can
kind of
help.
therapy, go.
The right
That
kind of
was
therapy.
also
Danielle had mentioned that it was going to happen, but now we have verbal confirmation that Ayana is outright okay admitting to her detective that she's going to therapy and that she wants talked to
Reyes
her
too.
shrink, talked to her shrink about Reyes and was like, I
I
want you to talk to him. So
And she's
Um,
like, my shrink, he's expecting your call
call,
today.
call him today.
Today.
Okay, got it.
It
Also,
wasn't not,
I
it was
forgot
today.
there was another part where he's like, "Am I suspended?" She's like,
She's like,
"No,
this,
but I'm putting
this,
you on desk duty until you figure this out."
what this,
Um, which makes me wonder how long that's gonna last because you only have two other detectives that can do that can, come with you to a crime scene.
field work.
And one of them needs also you
Also, she,
one of them
everybody needs therapy in this unit,
oh yeah,
particularly
everyone therapy, but also
everyone.
one of them you have been needing to do computer stuff back at the precinct. So I don't know. She can't be in two places at once. Anyway, they do a debrief about the dad that they found with the suspicious infected wound, and they found this little like green stone thing, and they're all trying to figure out what it is. And then Jet goes, "It's an emerald," and everyone stops and looks at
Like
her like,
what? She said some kind of
"What?
specific emerald from specific
What?"
place, like
Yeah,
very like
everyone's like, "What?"
random fact, special interest
And
fact kind of
like, "What?
way,
How do you know that?" And then she just innocently goes, "It's my birthstone."
Yep. Yeah.
So yay, more things about
Yeah.
Jet.
Yeah. That one random
Her
fact of this
birthday's
house.
in May.
Yeah. Yeah.
We don't know why
Because
her birthday's in
what day in
May.
May?
So
But it is May. Because
yes,
my
I know.
birthstone is emerald and my birthday is in May. So that's what we were like, yep, it's May.
Yeah, that's how we knew. Terryn and Jet are birthday twins, y'all.
Yeah.
Birthday month twins.
Mm-hmm. Just my time. If I find her it's May 14th, I don't know what we're gonna do with ourselves, but
I love that, but also it gives us more birthdays to memorize because like we have
we have like
Casper.
a list of actual birthdays, then we have the ones the show gave us, but that list is like this long compared to
Yeah,
the other list of actual birthdays.
yeah, we have like two or three because we know Mariska is January 23rd, and then Olivia is February 7th, which is coming up.
Yeah.
And then we have Ainsley, who is October 4th, and then Jet, whose birthday is in May.
Mm-hmm. That's it.
We don't know the day. We just know it's in May.
May
And then
question.
I got excited for a completely different reason,
Mm-hmm.
which I put in the bottom. Let my Jet and Alphabet connections continue. Because if you have not already, if you haven't, if you're new and you aren't fully
It
aware,
randomly showed up here.
and you
Somehow I
randomly,
don't know how you.
yes, one of my favorite musicals of all
Because
time.
apparently a lot of you are searching us up on Spotify according to our
Cool.
statistics. Don't know where
So
you came from, but
if you're new, you probably don't know this. My favorite musical of all time is Wicked. And my dream role for Ainsley to play one day is Alphabet and Wicked. So Jet having an emerald birthstone and Alphabet literally being emeralds. Yay. Okay. Then we get
they
they find out this like the guy who did it, like literally, like, they did something called a cat and slash.
that's what Jet called it
That's
anyway.
what Jet calls it. Jet has
Basically, it's this
rules
kind of
for
how to describe it is
everything.
more like it's a
Plastic
way to
surgery
like
is cheap.
traffic things into people have been doing this another SVU episode about this about where it's a different there might be illegal substances in the SVU and I think from a 1.0 there's a where they
It's literally plastic surgery for cheap.
yes that yeah that's what Jack called it but like sometimes they have people like swallow the bags of illegal substances. I can't say what the illegal substances is because that will get us in trouble but the illegal substances and then remove them from them when they get to the place they are going to sell
Yeah.
them. So in this
So
case, it was emeralds.
yes. So um
Will not be
yeah,
fun.
that she's like, that's just my name for it. It's plastic surgery for cheap. Because basically the guy is like slashing it, putting the emeralds in, and then
And then
stitching
throwing
them.
them back up. They're all like,
Uh,
mm.
so they get narrow it down to like two doctors or so, and then they have Elliot go in and I need to know who came up with this line
That's I didn't even
because
hear this line. Wasn't paying attention, but then I realized it when you said it, and I was like, "That's pretty
lit-
funny."
literally, the Elliot goes up to the receptionist and he's like, "Oh, I need to see Doctor So and So." I don't remember the guy's name. And the receptionist looks right at him and says it without missing a beat. I'm afraid, I'm afraid we don't do
Sorry,
hair
that
plugs.
comeback. Yeah, sorry, that comeback was hilarious. Sorry, I was looking at something else. But that comeback is hilarious too. But
I'm afraid we don't do hair plugs. My God.
like, golly, man, because someone's having a
He's
good
like
time
the
in the
bald
race.
man.
Somebody said, "Gonna put insert bald joke here."
I'm
That
afraid we
word.
don't do hair plugs. Also, he still has a beard, doesn't he?
Yeah,
Did she mean like taking the beard?
you can. That's how people do when they want their like forehead reduced, their hairline like made more. They take it from the back of your head or some other place I don't know why I know about this, but I do. I know about a
Now
lot of
I'm
stuff.
picturing it and it's
What they
cracking
do
me
is
up.
they like you have to grow your hair out first, and then they like take the hair off the back of your neck and then like take the follicles and put them in the front of your head instead.
God.
So then your forehead is less forehead. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know why I
Um,
know about hair transplant surgery, but I do. Random fact of the day.
yeah. Okay. So there was that. Then they find the doctor because he literally tries running out of the building and then they get him. And basically you're like, okay, what did you do? Why did you do this? They get all the information. Then they transition to the back to
Who the
guy
child is.
the guy who killed Asher and the main dude who we find out the kid is still alive
Yeah, really.
and the guy gave him the candy bar.
Yeah. Is there something about like I don't mind kids that are quiet or something like that?
Yeah.
Well,
Like, okay, good, I guess. Uh
good. You weren't
Ayana,
doing K-word and
to the
children.
point where like Ayana is pissed. She mad. Because
Hmm.
now she's interrogating the gun lady and she's
Hmm.
showing oh, I said it. Oopsie. She's showing
You
the
said it a
lady
couple times. I think we won't be in trouble. I think there's certain other things that will get us in trouble. I don't think we'll be in. We'll find out. I
she's
so
showing
far have not
the
been
lady
flagged by YouTube yet,
pictures.
so
She's showing the lady pictures of people that have been ended because of what
of
she
the
sold.
gun, yeah, the violence occurring.
I don't remember all of the examples, but I remember one that said
It was like
this one
a
like
DV case.
yeah, it was a GB
One of them
case where
was a
this
DV
woman
case,
was
one of them was I don't remember something, but they were rough. Like could have
yeah,
been avoided.
like the woman
It,
was based like the you sold a GUN to this woman's ex-boyfriend who
yeah,
then went to go his
in her
her
life,
end her life. And the thing is that they knew that he was going to go do that.
because he
Now,
was on like had a gun license revoked, so he could not
yeah.
have
Anyway, not pretty.
like things like that. Were the things she talks about, so
Yeah.
it's real sad.
And the lady's like, I didn't do it. I'm not the one who went to go buy the tiny things that go in the GUN. And Ayana's like, you sold them the GUN. You're the problem.
Yeah, it's tough.
And it's Shaw was also with her in the interrogation, it was pretty awesome. We
Mhm.
then find out the main villain's dude name, the one that the hitman works for. His name is Ghani, and he works for a group called Altomer. Um, the doctor that admits, like, there's yeah, emeralds are put
But
in the guy. The guy takes out the emeralds and then sews
well,
it
they
back and sends them back to wherever they came from
yeah,
to get more emeralds. It
it's not
literally
good.
trafficking
Yeah, but with emeralds,
with
yeah,
emeralds and bad stitching.
yeah. So they get infection, and then
Yeah, if
you
they
know,
get an infection, then they just get a new person.
yeah.
At one point they're like talking about something and um they're like trying to talk about um like a location. And at one point, Ayana and Nas at the same time say, "Where?" And everyone stops for a moment. Jet looks at the two. I'm like, Jet's no Jet. Ooh, Jet's getting it. Jet's noticing. Jet's noticing.
Jen notices everything.
Like I feel like everybody forgets they work with other detectives.
Exactly.
Your relationship, no matter what kind of way, affair, potential
Hmm.
enemies to lovers, is not going to be a secret. Somebody's gonna
Exactly.
find
They'll be
out.
like, we all know everything in this department.
So then they have to do an IUC thing to catch the guy, the hitman, who's been doing finding all these guns. And the funny thing is, they pull up this guy's names, and he has so many different aliases. And the funny thing is, they're all freaking names of the 12 disciples.
Yeah, there's slightly different spellings of them all. And
Everything's
probably if
spelled
you spell them in a
differently.
different language, it's very interesting.
And
And somebody, the next episode is called The Last Supper.
which is
So it's a
why,
really, which is why it's an interesting fact. But when we talk about the episode, I think
so,
it makes, I don't know if it makes sense or not, but we'll find
yeah, so we have Jet, who went undercover as the cashier,
out. Yeah.
and it
Like
can
the young cashier that doesn't care about working the till
exactly.
after the five.
It was literally like the young cashier who literally does not give a shit and is done because,
Yeah, I'm ready to go home.
the guy walks up and he like says something, and Jet slowly turns around, puts her hands on the counter, and just is like, "Okay,
He,
what do you want?"
he bought some like lottery tickets or something like that. And she was
All right, here's the picture, and
hello, small signs.
I've been telling my friends that she looks like she stepped out of Rent the musical with
Rent is good.
the
I
jacket
literally watched it
in
the
the
two
hair.
days before it went off of Peacocks. I literally saw it.
Yes.
I'm like, let me
And
watch
and one of my headcanons is that Rent would be one of Jet's favorite musicals. So yeah, she does.
it. Mhm.
And the guy is like, "Where's so and so?" And Jet's
The
typing.
regular lady who usually works at
Oh,
the restaurant.
and she's like, "Oh, so and so, yeah, she called in sick." And she's doing her thing. And then the guy pulls out a gun, and Jet not can't break her cover, so she has her hands up, even though we know she also, oh yeah, we also know that yeah, she has her headphones in every single time she's in a case. We don't know why. Because it's either a potential sensory thing, or B, everybody else uses earpiece and Jet uses like headphones to, hear people. This time it works with her character because she's
Literally
playing the
not caring about
cashier,
her.
does not give a shit. So she's listening to music while she's working. Yeah, so again, looks like she stepped out of Rent the musical, and I'm sticking to it.
Costuming was on top tier today.
What?
I said costuming was top tier today in that episode.
Um, the guy pulls out of the thing, and then he basically leaves the gas station. Elliot is there with the gun, trying to tell the guy to drop the gun. The hitman takes a hostage.
And just the delivery man. Like
It's just,
he's like delivering his the stuff for the gas
and
station.
he's literally like I don't know what anybody was thinking during the scene. It wasn't really done very well
Yeah, not their best
because
work.
the hitman literally like pushed his hostage towards Elliot and then shot him in the leg
Mm.
before, or no, shot him before anybody could do anything. And all I'm
Yeah.
thinking is, Jet, you're in the store. I don't
Mhm.
know. Come shoot this dude.
Mhm.
And she doesn't, the guy get like Elliot's trying to, deal with the fact that the guy, the delivery guy is wounded.
Yeah. And then the other guy's getting away.
The other guy's getting away. He's calling for Jet. He shoots the guy in the leg before he drives away. Um,
And he starts shooting at
and
the car and try to get the car to stop. That doesn't work.
yeah, and then so he just shoots the guy in the leg, and then he drives off. And then Jet is outside with the walkie-talkie calling a bus. I'm like, Okay, really? That's it? Yeah. And then again, oh, this is when they find out the guy's name, and he has lots of names because he's a professional assassin in Europe. Um, Elliot, I mean Reyes, being, on just desk duty, actually does something. He um finds like a number of buildings that are going down in the hole, which is a street ball court, which is
Mm-hmm.
awesome that he knows that. Now
Mm-hmm.
give me a scene of him playing it like we got with
Yeah,
Creasy in Alaska.
exactly. That's the top tier scene, bro. It's a top.
Have them do it all together.
Exactly. Might have to,
If
yeah.
not,
So
just have Reyes do it as freaking
hold on, I didn't text you this, but keep talking.
have Reyes do it as of I don't know, stress reliever. Anyway.
Hmm.
Then they find out that the bad guys they're being tracked. They have to go find them. They find a boy. They find the boy. Jet's using a drone to help find the other bad guy. The assassin ends up dead.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It kind of has I mean, yes, but he kind of like Elliot's like, don't, I will shoot you, don't shoot me, that kind of thing. And then the guy tries to shoot Elliot, and then Elliot shoots back, and then the guy falls off
Yep.
part of the building
Literally
onto
falls off
another
a
part of the
building.
building. Well, not
Shot.
all the way down, to like halfway down, but there's another like a building, like a shorter building. So he hits the shorter building, and
Either way, he dead.
he's the one.
Um, the father and son are reunited. The
Hmm.
delivery guy is going to be okay. Things are good.
Yeah,
And then we get the final scene of the episode. And we have Jet and Reyes packing up their stuff at the end of the day, getting their stuff out of the lockers. I need to look and see what there is inside the lockers, just because I
exactly.
wasn't
They
paying
never
attention.
used these lockers before either.
And like, it's awkward silence for a minute. And Reyes goes to walk away, and he stops, and he's like, he knows he needs to fix this. He turns around and says, I just I just wanted to say I'm sorry for a lot of things.
Yeah,
And she
maybe.
says, me too. And I was like, does this mean they regret sleeping together? What do you think?
No. She just said me too. It
Yeah,
could
I
mean
mean,
that. It could
yeah, I
mean
don't know
he's.
yeah, here's the thing. I don't know if they
It
regret.
probably does mean that, but it's not clear.
It's not clear.
Hmm.
And then Reyes is like, I haven't been myself for a while.
Yeah,
And he says, I'm hoping you and I could start over as friends. And Jet says, I'd like that. My problem is, and it could just be because I'm reading too much into this, like I usually do. This is the smile that Jet gave afterwards.
hmm,
Ainsley is very specific with her facial expressions. They use them for certain reasons. And I
yeah,
could be reading this wrong. But in my opinion, this isn't I'm happy we're starting over to be as just friends smile. To me, it almost seems more like there could possibly still be lingering feelings
okay,
about. But
yeah.
we'll find out. We don't know yet.
Literally, they dragged
Also,
this up at the
they,
part
they
of the
had a
episode.
really cool camera shot of the two of them looking at each other through the lockers.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, ugh.
Cinematography has been improving these days. Well,
And I was just like, I hope things will be okay because I need nobody being freaking awkward and scared and
yeah,
sad and whatnot.
yeah.
I need no
And then,
sadness. Okay.
there's the actual last scene of the episode. I don't know if you were paying attention. Where you?
No, it's not the last scene. I know what the last
I'm
scene
saying,
is.
I'm saying, now we're at the last because you said this was the last. And I was like, that's not the last.
Oh, right. Yeah. I mean, obviously I knew what it wasn't, but after that I was not fully paying attention
That's why
because
I was like, do I need to explain what happened? So the last
so
scene,
the last scene we get
There's a
is
cop. There are a cop.
a
Elliot
cop
arrives with a
car
cop
or whatever, and Elliot walks in and Randall's there.
because
Um,
Elliot's confused. Like, why are you here? Aren't you
why are
watching
you
like
here?
our
I thought you
mom?
were watching our mom. And Elliot's like, and Randall's like, oh, I got one of your kids to do it.
One of them. One of them. He starts
Green,
naming
Marie,
them, and he's like, whichever one of them. Kathleen,
Green,
Maureen, one of
Kathleen,
them.
whatever. One of them's watching. One of them is watching
I
your
said,
mom.
you're five children, Elliot Stetler.
Yeah, literally. And
It's
then
fine.
they get the thing, and it's
Yeah, they get a drink, and then they like,
they
yeah, well,
drink, and
he's
he's
like,
like, I want you to see somebody. And
yeah,
Elliot, we get
like
the
what?
introduction of the other Elliot Stabler. No, my God,
The
not Elliot Stabler, Lord.
Joe Junior.
He comes
He's
the last Stabler.
the Joe
Joe
Junior.
Jr. And to which everyone was like, okay, how if Elliot's almost 60, then how old was Bernie when she had this kid? Because he looks like a literal little kid.
He's young.
He is so young.
I mean, they're all young. Elliot, children young. Bernie
Yeah,
probably also had
but he's
children,
that's
so that's
literally
probably why.
somebody put
And
out a tweet that's like, who's older, Marine or his brother?
they might be the same age, honestly. Who knows? Because the show wouldn't care to
That
tell.
makes gives questions. Um, so the brother's like, please don't be mad. Please don't be mad. And then they start like play fighting. It was
It's
okay, we're
okay,
back.
so they're
All right,
play.
where did
Then
we
we
leave
ended
off?
up with the Stablers play
The
fighting in the
Sailors. The Sailor brothers are literally play
we
fighting.
forgot to mention out the detail that like Elliot's a little mad because Joe Jr. has been in New York for a while and that said
You didn't tell
anything.
him.
And somebody was like, people on Twitter were like, it's awfully hypocritical of you, Elliot, because you did the same thing in your most but same argument.
Good point. So yeah, they're play fighting and literally Randall's holding Joe Jr. back while Elliot's like jokingly trying to punch him in the stomach. And I'll
And
admit,
they're having a friendly brother moment.
it was cringy, but also
But it was kind of
kind of sweet
kind of
because I don't know, you don't get to see very many, it's not often you put Sweet and Elliot Stabler in the same sentence. So
you it was kind of nice, a little refreshing.
okay,
A little
that was
and
it.
that's it.
What do we rate this
Now
episode
for
for? Yeah, okay. What's happening next week?
okay,
I
but no,
what
the last
I
sucker.
was not paying attention because
Okay, I'm gonna watch it real quick. It's uh
after I saw Carisi, I squealed and then blocked out the rest. So I don't know what's going on.
okay. Basically, they call upon Carisi for some reason. Yes, we get to see Carisi twice this week.
Woohoo!
But they
Yay!
call upon Carisi. It says Belle and the team must keep a witness and her family safe from Los Santos before she testifies. Carisi has Stewart to back off a case to preserve the integrity of his undercover work. Stabler hosts chaotic family dinner.
That's gonna be fucking
I mean, it
interesting.
makes sense why Carisi would tell him to not. This is to preserve the
Literally,
integrity of his
Carisi.
undercover work.
Let's see if Elliot will actually listen to you this
Because in the
time.
promo, because in
Probably
the
not.
promo, the first thing is Carisi and Elliot talking, and then it's the gang doing some violent stuff, and then it's Elliot and all the people, the gang, all the crew trying to protect the witness.
Yeah, literally the one thing I remember from the promo was Jet like holding a gun
Yeah,
to like
yeah,
the
it's
two double doors.
all the squad. They're trying
I
to protect
scared.
this.
I
Even make it
scared.
fair.
Okay. Eerie double doors plus our baby don't equal good combinations in my mind.
No, so we do get Carisi.
Big accuracy twice, boo.
We
All
don't
right,
know
my
us. We
bucket list.
either
My
not
bucket.
have crazy.
Give him another scene with Jet.
Yeah,
Give him a scene with Tiana. Give him a scene
yes,
with Reyes.
yes.
Also, please don't let him
Please
be.
have him
Actually, please use
ask
him.
any
You're burning
question.
him there again. Use
We're not
him.
doing that again.
Because this
We're
is
not
the
doing it.
second time you've brought him on your show.
Yeah, the first one was all right. The OC lighting them.
Oh yeah, the OC lighting makes Peter look, ugh,
So
sir.
but
I,
then
I mean that
he's not.
respectfully.
Yeah, respectfully. Respectfully. But what
Yes,
I say,
twice next
he
week.
is
Yeah.
not allowed. Elliot, you are not allowed to ask Carisi about
Oh yeah.
Lydia's personal life. That is a
Yeah. And
no,
Kareem, if you pull some shit like you did at the
Carisi.
baby shower,
I don't want to be mad at you, but I will be Carisi. Don't worry.
your cousin didn't need to know that she was single. Elliot sure as hell does not either. Please
But
be
it's not
smart enough. We know you've been smart enough in the past, so please be smart enough to say it's not his business.
case because we do know Carisi asked her to back off the case to preserve the integrity of undercover. So, we're not on good terms.
Like, I thought we were done. I thought he was done the UC thing. Like, what now?
I don't know.
Is it
I
this
think
like like
they're
is the
investigating.
that he
What
like
are
came
they doing?
from or
I think maybe they caught the gang or whatever. It's
oh
not
yeah,
very
this
clear. They
is
did
this the
arrest the people in the gang, didn't they? They
is
did. In the first,
yeah, isn't this is this the fentanyl thing? Is
yes.
that or is this like the case they're doing it
I think
for?
this is the gang. I can't remember. I think this is the gang that was selling the drugs and they're prosecuting them. But I guess they wanted a good prosecute. They wanted a, solid
The
prosecutor there and
prosecutors
they
were like,
called.
"Hey, you mind if we borrow you?" But also, if it has to do with Maddie, then the connections are there.
Yeah,
Maddie,
we'll find out,
that
I guess. No
thing.
one really knows. We'll find out Thursday night. Well, I think that is it for now. We'll be back tomorrow. And really, for
Yes.
you, it will be no time at all. It will have some kind of transition scene, and then it will be the next part.
All right. For now,
I
we
had a
love
lot of
you.
fun with that because I've been editing. We will see you all tomorrow, which not just tomorrow
Yeah,
for you. It'll be
I love
one.
you. Bye.
Well, it's really me Terryn and Kalli, and you're never gonna keep writing and then do stuff
Then actually,
at bedtime.
actually sleep.
Okay,
Yeah.
goodbye. Yeah, and then go to sleep.